This is Lesson 108, Saxon's second edition, Algebra 1/2 book. This lesson is on Roman numerals. The Romans didn't have all the numerals that we have today. They only had 7 symbols that they could use to write all of their numbers. Now they didn't use place value, and they had no symbol for 0. So to find the value of a Roman numeral, to read a Roman numeral, you add the values of all the symbols in the number. So on the next page you're going to see 2 charts, and one has those 7 symbols for you, and the other one has all the Roman numerals from 1 to 50. Now this is something that you're going to, if you don't copy it in your notebook, it still would be good to have maybe keep this lesson handy to use the chart in it as you do your Roman numeral problems. And you can use this chart, the 1 through 50, to help you with your practice problems and your lesson problems from here on out. Okay, so here are the 7 numbers, or 7 symbols. For the number 1, they have a capital I. A V stands for 5, X stands for 10, L is for 50, C is for 100, D is for 500, and M is for 1,000. Now, here are the Roman numerals from 1 to 50. So let's look at how they do this. 13, they've got 10 plus 3 is 13. Over here, 45 is an X, an L, and a V. Well, we know that X is 10, but L is 50, and V is 5. So would we add all those together and that would be 65? No. If you have a smaller one before the larger one, then you're going to subtract that. So it's like saying 50 minus 10 is 40 plus 5. I know it's kind of hard to get used to, isn't it, for us? All right, here you've got the L, which is 50, minus 10, plus 5 plus 1. So that's 46. Look how 40 is actually XL. Like I said, L is 50, and then you go backward, you subtract 10 from that to get 40. So that's how they did. Here's another example right here. X is 10. Here they've got IX, so that's 1 and 10, but this is actually not 11. This one is 10 minus 1 is 9. This one is 10 plus 1, that's 11. So if you have a bigger one here and a smaller one before it, you need to subtract that one that's on the left. Okay, let's do your practice problems. Okay, so let's do your practice problems. A is the number 4. So what would be the Roman numeral for 4? Well, instead of writing 4 1 symbols, we can get by with doing this. V is the symbol for 5. And if we put a smaller number in front of it, that means that we're going to subtract 1 from 5, which would leave 4. Okay, so that's how you do 4. 9 would be sort of the same thing. We know that X stands for 10, but if we put an I in front of it, that means 10 minus 1, which would be 9. Okay, 34, we're going to do 3 X's, 3 X's, which is 30. And then we said 4 is this right here, so we're going to put IV, and then that stands for 34. D is 39. So we're going to do XXX for 30. And then we're going to do what we did here for 9. We're going to put IX. Alright, and then 40, we're going to sort of do the same thing. We're going to have L is 50. And if we put an X in front of that, that means 50 minus 10, which is 40. And finally, for 49, we're going to put what would this LX for 40, and then what we did here again for 9, which is IX. So here we have 50 minus 10, which is 40, and 10 minus 1, which is 9. So that is 49. All right, good job, guys. I will see you next time for Lesson 109.